Hey guys, welcome back to Barry's Corner. It's Emily here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys all the books that I read in June. I can't believe it's July right now. Like, it's July 1st as I'm filming this. Like, what the heck is going on? It's July 1st. Like, Christmas in July is here on Hallmark. That's crazy to me. I'm moving 2 houses in July. I'm moving to college in early August. Like, who allowed this year to be already halfway done? Like, I can't comprehend that this year is halfway done. It's like genuinely insane to me. Also, the mid-year book freakout tag coming soon, just by the way. Also, like I said, I am moving in July. It is July 1st. So if you hear any tape scratching or literally anything, I am so sorry. I need to pre-film a bunch of videos because my bookshelves are coming down. So I have some books to show you, but before I do, please subscribe, comment down below, and like this video. All of my social links are down in the description box below if you would like to give me a book, so it's my Amazon wishlist. So now let's get on into the video. The first book that I read this month was a Wattpad book. I had to mention it because I read something, okay? However, I'm not going to mention the name. It was horrible. Like, some Wattpad books are just like, yeah, this plot is so bad. But, you know, it was still entertaining. This book was genuinely just so bad that I do not want to say the name, because if you seem somewhat interested, I do not want you to read it because it wasn't good. I'm not saying the name. I read a Wattpad book. Should I say? No, I'm not going to say the name because I just don't want you guys to read it. It was so bad. But I did read a Wattpad book. This next book, I am a little bit ashamed of how long it took me to read, but it also blows my mind that I said that I would read this book on the 1st of July, and I never did. And that was so long ago, and it blows my freaking mind. Canton Wont by Lydia Davis. Again, I said I would read this or finish this on the 1st of July. It was in my May wrap-up, and I didn't do that. It took me basically half of the month to read it. I don't know why it took me so long. I did really enjoy it. And I wasn't gonna put this on this video because I did include it on my May wrap-up. But again, it took me so long. And also, I didn't really tell you guys the synopsis because I didn't really know what the synopsis was until I finished this book. So basically, this is a collection of short fiction, and it talks about everyday life and the importance of everyday life and the importance of the struggles of everyday life and the meaning of it. But also, she's telling the importance through brevity, which is short diction and short paragraphs. And when I looked it up, apparently this is out of the normal for her. Like, this is the first time that she's really done that, and I think that's why everybody was so excited to read this book. I don't mesh well with short fiction, but I can tell you that Lydia Davis's writing is genuinely, like, insane. How she writes is so simple and poetic, but yet so flowery, and just it was so good. It was so good. Like, every single time I would read something or read a passage, I'd be like, wow, you're a professional. Like, wow, you know what you're doing. And that sounds so stupid because it's writing and I guess everybody can know what they're doing. But dude, how could she write something this good? I'm not gonna rate it because I feel like, yes, her writing is so beautiful, but at the same time, I don't mesh well with short fiction. So if this sounds any good to you, definitely pick it up. I thought it was good. And yeah. The next book is a buddy read between me, my uncle, and my aunt, and it is The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. This book I really enjoyed. I don't think that it lived up to the hype that everybody was saying. I don't know. It's not my all-time favorite book, but I did enjoy it. If you don't know what this book is about, it's basically about a girl named Nora Seed, and she's very, very depressed, and she tries to kill herself at midnight. So she is sent to a midnight library where there are infinity numbers of books, and basically she can pick a book out and open it and read it and be sent into a different lifetime of hers, one where she has regrets, or even ones that she just never even knew about. And so she is basically trying to find a life that will make her happy, so she can live there forever. I really liked the themes in this novel. Like, you cannot find happiness without having the down moments and being sad. I loved, like, how every single universe or lifetime had a different meaning, but it's still connected with the same theme, if that makes sense. that, you know, every life you're gonna have sadness, but that's okay because it's your life and you can make it what you want. And I loved it. I loved it so much. I also liked the concept of the Midnight Library. Matt Haig kept chiming in like multiple times to kind of like further make the audience understand how the library works. Like, he was basically making sure that the audience did not have any questions at all, and I kind of found it funny, but it wasn't funny. Like, I don't know why in my mind I found it funny, but I did. Like, if the woman was dying in real life, then the whole thing would burn up in flames, and like, I liked it. I don't know, I just like how he kept sort of chiming in without chiming in. One thing that I also really liked that my uncle told me about, and I didn't even realize this until he told me, he was saying that he was really happy that the main character wasn't obese or had a physical ailment or wasn't like, I don't know, like had a disability of some sort, because I feel like in a lot of books, in novels, they try to make somebody obese or have a physical ailment, and by the end, and also have depression and anxiety, and by the end they learn to love themselves, which is fine, that's good, but the main character was a normal human being. She was pretty, guys wanted her, like she was somewhat successful, and she went to college, like she was fine, but she still had depression and she still had anxiety, and she was like a normal human being, pretty, and I liked that she wasn't ugly, if that makes sense. Like the main character, like the author didn't make the main character like have a physical ailment or anything to kind of make an excuse for why she has depression, you know what I'm saying? So I really liked that a lot. One thing I didn't like, I felt like near almost the middle, I felt like it was just getting a bit repetitive. I do not like time loops in books, and although she is going into a different life each time, it was like she kept doing the same thing. She kept going into a life, hating it, going out of a life, going back to another life. It was just like, okay, I get it, you're learning things, but just come on, hurry it up a bit. There were a couple lives that I think that shouldn't have been in there that made no sense. Not that they didn't make sense, but she already learned that lesson in another life, so I don't understand why he had to put in 2 more just like that. It just didn't make sense to me. I did like the main character. I liked her. She was nice, she was cute, she was fun. Overall, I give this book a 4 stars. I definitely think it's something that you should check out. I think it's totally worth it. I don't think it's in the next all-time favorite read of yours, but I do think it was worth it, and I really, really enjoyed it. The next book was going to be a buddy read between me, my uncle, and my aunt, and it was The Call of the Wild by Jack London. This book was a gift from my biological father when I was really, really young. I think it's the only gift he's really ever gotten me, which is like a whole bunch of the Great Illustrated Classics editions. So this is the first time reading it. Look at me. And this book, if you don't know what it's about, it's basically about a dog who was a pet. And he got kidnapped. And he got sent to be a working, like, sledding dog. And a lot of stuff happens. A lot of stuff happens. And then he kind of figures out his way to becoming a wild dog. What is the point of this book? I really don't know. I could not tell you the point of this book. We were going to read it because my uncle read it in high school, and he was like, I really enjoyed it. I want to read it now. And then we switched to the Midnight Library because he was like, yeah, we're not vibing with this book. Why would you teach this in high school? Like, what themes does this represent? Like, I truly want to know. I'm not understanding this. I don't get it. I thought it was cute. I thought it was cool. I liked the writing. I thought it was nice. There was so much death in here. I think that's the biggest thing that like really shocked me, was the amount of death of both dogs and humans. And that's fine, but they glossed over it so much. Like, within 75 pages, there were 3 deaths, and they happened so close to each other, and we weren't even, like, taking a break. We weren't like, oh, somebody died, let's mourn that, or be really shocked about it. It was just like, that's just the life of a wolf. And they continued on. Like, what? I don't know. I think I gave this 3 stars. I think it was cute. I don't really get the point of it, but I think it's a nice classic if you just want to read one. I don't know. It's easy to read. It was fine. It was good. I liked it. Moving on. I really didn't read a lot this month, so the second to last book is Second First Impressions by Sally Thorne. Guys, you guys know Sally Thorne is one of my favorite authors of all time. You know that I am absolutely obsessed with The Hating Game by her. And this is her new release called Second First Impressions. It's basically about a girl named Ruthie, and she works at a retirement villa, and her boss is on vacation right now, so she's kind of taking that role, but at the same time, the retirement villa has a new person that bought it, and so they've kind of been on the back burner. The person is supposed to either like sell the place and like convert it into something new, or basically get profit from this retirement villa. So Ruthie's freaking out because she loves this retirement villa, and she's like, we need to keep it the way it is. However, the person that bought it kind of put it on the back burner and never really talked to them until this guy named Teddy, comes in and kind of makes his father like realize that this thing is here and that they bought it. And so now Teddy's living in the apartment next to Ruthie, and he's the bad boy that wants to be a tattoo artist. And Ruthie's like this innocent girl, daughter of a priest. Like, it's so cute. And I love it. I love it so much. This book, I hope I explained that correctly. I hope that you guys understood what this whole thing was about. A romance occurs. I didn't think it was that difficult to understand. What I really, really enjoyed about this book, first, hands off, was Ruthie was very innocent. Like, this is an adult romance book, and the main character is an innocent gal. But the thing is, I don't think they did it in a stereotypical, cheesy type of way. I mean, kind of, like her father's a priest, so it is a bit stereotypical. But I mean, like, they didn't really exploit it. Like, it wasn't something that the guy made her feel bad for or made a big deal about. Like, I really appreciated it, and I feel like that's reality. A lot of people aren't all like really experienced in relationships or sexually, and I appreciate that because this was a really tame book. So I feel like if you're just getting into adult romance, this is the book for you. I think maybe you could see yourself in Ruthie, but you still get some cute romantic scenes. And although she's innocent, that does not mean we did not get the tension, bro. The tension. The romantic tension in this book is insane. The pool scene? Who let them? Oh my gosh, the thrift store scene. Who allowed Sally Thorne to write that scene? Not me, but I'm so happy that she did. It's so good. One thing that I didn't like about this book, though, was it was very, very slow to start. Like, it was fine. It was entertaining. I read this all in one sitting, just by the way. But it was slow to start. I feel like we could have done something else with that time. And also, there was one thing where Ruthie had a problem with her father, and it was not resolved really at the end. Like, she still invited him to meet her father, but at the same time, it was like, I thought you had a problem with him. So, like, what is going on here? So, I enjoyed it. There were some things that I didn't like. I'm giving this book a 4 stars, so not as good as The Hating Game, but who can live up to The Hating Game? I don't think anything will, honestly, but I really enjoyed this book. Honestly, if this becomes a movie just like The Hating Game is, I would not be disappointed. Now, the last book that I read, honestly, it's one of the best books I've read in a while, I'm not gonna lie, and it is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. Guys, this book, like, can we just take a moment of silence for this book? Because, oh my gosh, I did not expect it to be this flippin' good. Like, everybody was giving it hype. I knew that. I honestly expected to give this book a 4 stars. I don't read a lot of thrillers, but oh my gosh, the twists in this book are genuinely insane. I loved it so much. If you don't know what this book is about, it's about a girl named Pippa, and 5 years ago, there was a murder of this girl named Andy Bell. And also a suicide of Sal Singh, who supposedly killed Andy and was also her boyfriend. But Pippa's like, that does not seem right. I loved Sal, like, as a friend, family friend figure. Like, he was so nice to me. I don't believe that could have been him. Like, I just don't believe that was him. And so she tries to figure out the murder for her final capstone project, and she finds out some things. And I loved it. 5 out of 5 stars. So good, like, so good. The twist in this novel is genuinely insane. I could not guess it. Like, she made this person one of the suspects, but then we rolled it off completely. Like, there were so many other people that it could have been completely, and I did not expect what was gonna happen. Even at the end, after we found out one of the people, there was another twist. And I was like, period, dude. Like, what is going on here? One thing though that I was like, about was there were a couple of suspects that we were like really looking into, and we didn't really get any explanation on that. And at the end, she was like, I wonder what happened to them. I wonder, like, I always look at them and be like, why were they so closely connected? But that's kind of it. Like, I can't look into everybody. And I was like, that's so true. That's so true. You can't look into everybody. And they weren't really involved, even though they're kind of sus. But I don't know. I enjoyed it. I really liked it. Out of all these books, please pick this one up if you haven't already. Like, it's genuinely so good. So yes, those were all the books that I read this month. A little bit less than I've been reading recently. I think my monthly reading has been going down a lot, and I expect it to continue to go down once I enter college. So I'm sorry about that, but I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please subscribe, comment down below, and do whatever you want to do, and goodbye.